Did y'all see that season finale? Man, did y'all see that season finale? Hey man, that's how you do a season finale. Remember on Bad Boys when talking about the Bad Boys with Martin and Will Smith, not with the one with Sean Penn, which I think is a great film as well. But in that movie where Will told told Martin, he say, man, that's how you drive. From here on out, that's how you drive. That's how you do a season finale. Good luck trying to top that season finale next year. Because I don't think y'all can do that. But I don't mind being proven wrong. Man, I enjoyed the hell out this episode, right? So I'm going to be all over the place. I'm not about to go in chronological order because the thing about it is when I'm excited and I'm hyped up on something, it's very, very hard for me to go in chronological order. So I'm going to be all over the place, but I just want to let you know the subject at hand is X-Men 97, the season finale. All right. My boy's Gambit. Gambit is back. Gambit is coming back. Hey, the way I look at it, after how Rogue did him, check this out, man. Listen, there's no reason for him to be part of this whole X-Men thing. There's no reason. I'm not saying rocking with Pac is the best thing, but hey, one of my favorite MCs of all time was Tupac. Pac was short for Apocalypse, Tupacalypse. Tupac, go ahead and rock. See a clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girls used to frown, man. Gambit gonna be rolling with Pac. You know what I'm saying? The Prince of New Orleans gonna be rolling with Pac. You know what I mean? That's like having Juvenile or Lil Wayne or somebody, or Master P or somebody in the same group with Tupac. I can dig it, man. Don't need a shovel to dig that. But, hey, man, still grieving the process of Gambit dying. But you know what? He's returning. Because, like I say, there's no reason for him to come back to the X-Men. Because he believed in Charles Xavier's philosophy. And his philosophy is so damn flawed. Like, I know everything has its flaws. Magneto's philosophy is flawed. But that goddamn Charles Xavier, man. Let me tell you something. I'm about sick of his shit. I'm sick of Charles Xavier. Like, man, I'm gonna get to him. I'm gonna get to him now. Okay? It's a lot of stuff on my heart and on my mind and my spirit. I gotta get to Charles Xavier. Bro. Okay, so like you refuse to hold humans accountable. You with this, if we do so much good and then they'll see how wonderful we are. No, bro. No. See, he's trying to be nice. No, be good. I think it was LL Cool J who said that, there's a difference between from being good, being a good man and a nice man, or a good person and a nice person, right? A good person, they'll fight for themselves and they'll fight for others, because they're a good person. They don't want to see nobody being taken advantage of. They are a good person. But a nice person, not going to necessarily do that. They just worried about staying nice, being nice. That's what Professor Xavier's doing. And so, as I'm older, as a grown-up now, I don't like the whole Professor Xavier is Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and Magneto is Malcolm X. No, they're not. Because to be honest with you, number one, like Magneto and Professor Xavier, they can't change their skin tone. So if they didn't show their mutant powers, just like in the beginning of the episode, he tapped in Magneto's memory, and it was when a flashback when they was young. It was an old memory when they was younger, and they was at a bar talking. You see two Caucasian men sitting in a bar, and nobody's bothering them. Nobody telling them, hey, go to the back or you can't sit in here. But if that was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X, they would not have been able to sit there during that time frame. So they can't change how, you know, when people when people see them, they see them as two white men. They don't know they're mutants until they show their powers. But with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, you see the color of their skin, both of them black. So racist people already have a prejudgment on them. But he was just annoying, man. Like you telling Magneto, like, dude, like, all you gotta do is just, if you're going to tap into Magneto's mind, tap into it for understanding and have empathy and empathize about not only what he went through as a child, but what he went through in Genosha. What Rogue went through in Genosha. Nightcrawler went through in Genosha. And matter of fact, Charles never even went to Genosha to go check on those people, man. You know what? It could be mutants still missing. He could have took his ass over there and be like, let's see, can I find anyone? He didn't do that. So he's all about himself. Like I said, Charles only brought his ass down from the doggone Shi'ar Empire because he saw that everybody was starting to be Team Magneto. And he says, all right, let me come down here. I hope I'm not too late. Are you serious, bro? Yes, you late. You know? But yeah, man, so I'm tired of Charles Xavier. I am. I'm sick. I'm so freaking tired of his character. Don't like, they can do this show without him. Wolverine's still recovering. But the main thing is he's recovering. You know, most people, they're dead after that. But he's healing, he's recovering. So Bastion, man, like, that dude go hard, man. He goes hard. Like, of course we haven't seen the last of Bastion because the X-Men, you got him where you want. Y'all do all this strategy planning. You got him where you want to say, no, he has a change of heart. We could change his heart. And he's showing absolutely no indication that he's trying to change. You can't save somebody who don't want to be saved. So why are you trying to save him? Why? Cyclops, bro. Dude, Bastion took your son. He ripped your son's arm off, then beat him. He beat him. Now, you did your full blast on him, but now I'm starting to question whether or not if you really did your full blast on him, because I thought you did, because you were yelling, don't mess with my son, my family. And I'm like, all right, that's the Cyclops I know, bro. And then when you have him dead to rights, you say, let's prove that we're better than how the humans treat us. What? Like you said earlier in the season, you know you better than the humans, man. You don't have to prove jack. And your proving thing jack to humans is irrelevant, because what you think is proving something to those humans, they just looking at it like, look at this dude here. We don't care. You're a mutant, bro. But it made me question on whether or not if he went full blast on Bastion, because, dude, you had him dead to rights and you let him go. He beat your son. Okay? He beat your son. Took his arm off and beat him. And it wasn't just a flesh arm with blood and skin and bones. It was a goddamn metal arm, man. Then he took it and used it as armor. You know, people were saying the theories of Magneto was going to use he was going to use Wolverine's adamantium and use it as armor. I don't know what he did with it, but, you know, it was wild. But I still don't think Rogue redeemed herself. I know a lot of people there hyped up. Oh, did you see when Rogue say the name's Gambit? Remember it. Did she hear Gambit say that? Like, how did, but okay, maybe she did hear him say that. But anyways, like, she should be saying that shit to herself. Because she wasn't worried about remembering Gambit soon as Magneto showed back up in episode 9. She wasn't trying to remember Gambit when Gambit was living, when she was skin to skin contact with Magneto. So, the name's Gambit, remember it. Yeah, okay. Now her fighting, oh yeah. Now I never doubt Rogue fighting. That's hands down. You know what's amazing? They say Carol Danvers, she's the most powerful one, blah blah blah. But Rogue has the power, she's not the most powerful one. But maybe different level of mentality, I don't know. But or maybe that's just some Kevin Feige said or whatever. But man, like for real, that was a very intense fight scene. It reminded me of was that when Captain Marvel, when she was fighting Thor in What If, and she was just boom 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 like driving him down, and I'm like, God damn, Thor, fight back, bro. But yeah, she was tearing him up. But then you know, Bastion showed that he can take a beating, and he grabbed her by the throat. I was like, man, what's your problem, bro? Who do you think you are? Okay, all right. The name's Bastion, remember it. And then Sunspot saved her. So, but yeah, he choked Storm too. He choked Storm too, man. We saw the Phoenix. And then the Phoenix left. And I'm like, what the hell? Because when the Phoenix showed up in the beginning, and I'm like, all right, man, they defeated Bastion that quick? Okay. So there must about to be another villain coming up because it's like 30 more minutes in the show. And the Phoenix left, and then Bastion popped back up. And I'm like, well, goddamn, we need the Phoenix. And that's the thing with Jean. You know, Jean Grey is like, in basketball, how they used to describe Dwight Howard. They say, you know, it takes a lot to get Dwight Howard ticked off. But once he's ticked off and angry, he's locked and loaded. Oh, he becomes more dominant. But see, with Jean, it takes so much to get her going. You know. So I don't know if the Phoenix, and when she said, the Phoenix is gone. Why are you excited about that? Why? You need the Phoenix. Really, without the Phoenix, you're just no use to the team, Jean Grey. You're just no use. You're no use. Unless you just want to be around with the whole love triangle with Scott and Logan. Speaking of Wolverine, Logan, man, did y'all, when Scott said that don't you die right now. You do what you do best. Don't you go and breaking her heart. Wow. Some people say that's maturity. I don't think that's necessarily maturity because then that would say if you didn't wish, if you wasn't rooting for him to recover and stuff like that, that means that'll be immature. No. That's something he chose to say because, listen, Wolverine still be trying to get at Jean, which is Cyclops' woman. So it's like, hey, you can opt to not do anything or say anything to him. But in that whole part where he turned it to Jean, oh, stay up. You have so much life to live for, Wolverine. Don't go. Whatever the hell he said. Yeah, man, but one thing I say about this season, man, I earned the new respect for Morph, man. And it's like, you know what? Now, whenever, you know how you ask, when you get asked a question, yeah, I get asked this question, and I ask this question to people sometimes. If you had a superpower, whose superpower would you want? You know, I wouldn't mind having Morphs. So Morph is all right with me, man, for real. But yeah, man, Gambit is coming back, bro. And don't get back with Rogue. You don't need to get back with her. All right, bring death to her. All right, let her know that, hey, yeah, I can touch you too, but I don't want to touch you anymore. And then what's going to add insult to injury to it? We saw Rogue, Charles, Beast, and Magneto, they were sent 3,000 to 4,000 BC, where there's a young apocalypse. Okay? So this is Tupac before Juice. Okay? This is Tupac before he started Juice. This was Brenda's Got a Baby Tupac. Alright? This was Brenda's Got a Baby Pac when the homies called Pac. See a clown around when I hang around with the underground Pac. So, alright. So it's very interesting. I'm gonna have to check out the comics. But if I don't check out the comics, you know I'm gonna check out Comics Explained, the Comic Historian. You know, Theo Butler. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. You know, I'm gonna have to check them out. Den of Nerds, New Rock Stars, to see like, hey, what they got going as far as that, you know, the Rise of the Apocalypse. Now I played X-Men Legends Part 2, Rise of the Apocalypse, so I'm not sure if it's the exact same story, if it's similar to that. But yeah, man, that's gonna be interesting because he's potentially gonna be influenced by two different agendas with Magneto and Xavier. And if you're Magneto, you're probably thinking, well, if I get Pac on my side to think how I think, well then guess what? That's how the future is gonna be the way I would like it. And Charles is gonna be thinking the same thing. So, and in that, and you know, right there, you have an advocate for Magneto in Rogue, and you have an advocate for Charles in Beast. But even though when Charles was gone, Beast at times were Magneto. He said Magneto was right. So you potentially have three people you have Beast and Rogue, they're going to be thinking just like Magneto in that sense. Because once again, Charles, he didn't even bother to go check on the in Genosha, man. That's weak. Happy nation, gonna be happy nation. Oh yeah, man! Shout out to all y'all who had liked and commented and viewed and shared the edit I did with the with the whole Gambit and Magneto and Rogue video. Shout out, you know, where Rogue did him wrong. She did him dirty. She rubbed it in his face. So thank y'all. I appreciate that. That's getting a lot of views, man. For real. I appreciate that. But man, Cable, you know, Cable reminded me of, who was it on Walking Dead? Was it Eugene? Abraham on The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? No matter what Negan was throwing his way or how dead to rights he was still talking that ish. And that's how Cable was, man. He said something about Bastion's mom, even though when Bastion was getting ready to end him, man. But, Sinister, man, y'all see, man, Sinister looked like, Sinister looked like Widget, man. Y'all remember that show, Widget, with the little purple alien, man? That's who Sinister looked like, man. Like, once the Phoenix Force took care of him, like, he looked terrible, bro. Like, what the hell, man? That's how you look? Man, you should forget eternity, bro. You should have just, like, went to the afterlife, man. It probably would have been much better for you, you know? But, it was a lot of stuff going on in here, man. A lot of stuff. I'm Bishop. Oh man, dude showed up at the end. It's like, where the hell have you been, dude? Bishop knew what he was doing, though. He knew what the hell he was doing, man. But you know, we had an issue where we thought, you know, one of my first videos I did of X-Men 97 was when Storm lost her powers, and I said she's gonna go to Wakanda. Said she was gonna go to Wakanda, okay? And, you know, I said she's gonna go meet up with the child to help her get her powers. But now something happened at the end. The whole explosion after they was fighting Bastion, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know where Storm and Wolverine is at. They didn't show where they went, because we saw Scott and Jean after they said their goodbye to Cable, and then they went to battle. They somehow got sent to sent to the future, where there's young Cable, and I forgot the character name, but um, what was her name? It's Rachel Summers, Mother something. What's her name, man? I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta look it up. I'm going to look it up. Yes, I am. Gotta look it up. What's her name? Mother Askren? Mother Escani. I said Askren. Mother Escani. I don't know much about Mother Escani. I'm familiar with the character with Rachel Summers, but I don't know a whole lot about her. So, of course, I'm gonna go do my research on that. I'm gonna check out Rob Jefferson's channel, Comics Explained. But that's what I'm like. Okay, so they get to raise their son, so that's cool. I can dig that, you know. But where did Storm and Wolverine go? I don't know. I heard some theories about they think Apocalypse got them. They're going to be part of his horsemen. And you know what? I got a feeling, I could be wrong, but I think he's going to have 3 different sets of horsemen. He's going to have some 4 horsemen in the past, where, you know, he's going to have 4 horsemen in the present and 4 horsemen in the future. The future! So, I think his 4 horsemen in the present, though, one of my theories, I think 2 of them, one of them is going to be Gambit and one is probably going to be Leech, man. Like, I want to see Leech, man. I want to see Leech, man. They need to bring, you know, man, I just hate that Leech died, man. But I heard in the comics at one point he was a horseman, so I would love to see that. I think that would be pretty cool. But another theory I have on that, I think the Watcher pulled Wolverine and pulled Storm. I remember I heard that Storm's supposed to be in What If season 3, so maybe we won't see Storm until What If season 3 airs. And I think X-Men 97 is gonna air season 2 like at the end of 2024. And I think What If is gonna air sometime like in November or December. I think last year it aired like on the Christmas break or Thanksgiving break, one of those. I gotta go back and look, man. Let me know. Put that in the comments if you know. But you know, the whole T'Challa thing, hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. Like I remember going on the Wiki fandom pages and that was T'Challa. It said T'Challa. But they said now they're changing it to T'Chaka. But what's amazing on that page, I don't know about y'all, but I have the ability to go edit and stuff or submit edits on that. I'm not sure if it'll get approved or not, but I'm like, man, like that's wild. I mean, who do you trust in that situation to present the correct information? You know, and it's one of those things. It reminds me of the game Simon Says. Well, in this sense, is more of Kevin Feige says, or Bo DeMaio says, or whoever's the runner, right? Whoever's controlling shit. So if you're not controlling shit, then you can't say that, well, this should be there. So I don't know, but we'll see. I hope. Yeah, Marvel's been really like teasing us and trying to manipulate our minds, dude. But I really hope that, you know, we get to the point where we get to see T'Challa in an animated series, where he has his own animated series. Because I would say, you know, I would treat it like this. In Captain America Civil War, all right, in that time frame, that's like what, 2012, 2013, 2014, 15, whatever. Okay, so T'Challa's dad, T'Chaka, was still living. And we saw them together and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's cool. We see the father-son element. So what I believe is, I think eventually we're gonna get a Black Panther T'Challa animated series, and maybe like the first season or the first half of the season, T'Chaka doesn't die until like 4 or 5 episodes in. But prior to that, we get to see the present bond between those two, because I think that's a strong element of it, and you can do a lot with that character. And I think it's you get the actor who played. I think you should get the actor who played T'Chaka in Black Panther, the live action movie. You can get the one who played his dad when he's older, or you can get the one who played, the younger T'Chaka. But you have them in there because that brings familiarity, okay? And because it's no longer going to be Chadwick Boseman's voice, I'm assuming, unless they use some type of AI. But whoever voice they use for that, it kind of like with Spartacus, man. When Andy Whitfield had died, Spartacus, they brought in another actor, Liam. I think it's Liam McIntyre. That's his name. I know his first name is Liam though. And what happened is that they didn't just give him the same amount of screen time that Andy Whitfield Spartacus had, but what they did was a lot of the brilliant supporting cast that they had, they increased their minutes, the amount of screen time they had. And so it's like Liam McIntyre Spartacus for like the first season that he became Spartacus was kind of, I'm not going to say back burner, but his presence is still there. So still remember his name and respect him and stuff. And he was still a brilliant fighter in there, in the show. But, they set it up to where it's like, all right, we won't just have him have Andy's minutes, and because we want to allow the audience to get used to that. And then by his second season, it was like, all right, give him more screen time. And mid of his second season now, I'm like, okay, I'm not saying he's better than Andy, but it's like he's showing that he's goddamn it is capable, So it's one of those things. If Andy's performance was Michael Jordan, I think Liam, he got to the point where, hey, I'm Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it with the whole recasting T'Challa, is that we don't expect anybody to perform like Michael Jordan in the Bulls uniform. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We don't expect you to do that. If Chadwick was Michael Jordan of that, okay, the next actor, we need you to be Derrick Rose. Okay? Can you do that? Be Derrick Rose, okay? Be Derrick Rose. Be Zach LaVine. But as much as I like Zach LaVine, but I would say be Derrick Rose because Derrick Rose got the MVP level. But also at the same time, he had a brilliant supporting cast around. Zach LaVine, an all-star slam dunk champion. He could fly out this gym. Hey, people watch Zach LaVine. All right? So, but yeah, I'm hoping that they end up doing a Black Panther animated series. That's what I'm hoping for. And maybe this is something that is part of, they went back and changed it, because when they do the series, this is extra continuity that can, But at the same time, it's like, man, they still could have. I don't know. Because, see, it's a lot of stuff open into interpretation. Because, see, the picture that they show, see, in the Sanctuary, there's 2 parts of Sanctuary, right? And on the first one, they just showed T'Challa looking, all right, in part 1. But in part 2, they show Black Panther and Mjolnir. Mjolnir, that's Storm's godson. And see, my thing is, why would young Mjolnir, be hanging out with T'Chaka right there? Because I don't think T'Chaka will want him right there, because Mjolnir is young. So my theory behind that is, I think in Sanctuary episode part 2, I think that's T'Challa. I think T'Challa brought Mjolnir there. And I think T'Challa, what he did was, he went and got his dad's Black Panther suit without his dad knowing, or without asking his dad permission. His dad probably know, but T'Challa didn't ask for permission for it. So that's my That's what I'm thinking on that. And also, I saw another interesting fan theory where it could be possible. Um, it's two Black Panthers at once. You know, you got T'Chaka is over there. T'Chaka, while he was meeting with the president via video, you know, T'Challa was over there fighting in the Black Panther suit. So, I mean, it could be. I mean, they do have like it could be multiple Black Panther suits. Um, I'm not familiar with where if there's any parts in the comics where you had, let's see, where T'Challa and T'Chaka where they both was Black Panther at the same time. Does anybody know that? And I think even more reason if they're gonna do an animated series, okay, they can. I'm down for watching scenes where there is T'Challa and T'Chaka both as Black Panther kicking ass at the same time. I am totally down for that. Father and son kicking ass. Hey, you know what I'm saying? God rest his soul. My dad died in 2005. I was 23 years old. And, you know, if my dad was a superhero and I became a superhero, you know, they say my dad was a Black Panther, I became Black Panther. Hey, I want to fight with my dad. Let's go kick some ass together, you know? So I think that would be cool. I think that would be dope to see, man. That would be dope to see. For real. But yeah, and it's like if you're gonna do that origin story, I think it would make sense to okay, instead of trying to continue what was started intentionally started in the Fantastic Four '90s animated series where they had Keith David as Black Panther as T'Challa, and in that on that Earth, T'Chaka died 10 years prior to that, but that's Earth 534834. That's a separate Earth. The Earth where X-Men, the animated series, and Spider-Man, the animated series takes place. That's Earth 91321. All right, and once again, the Fantastic Four that we saw in that crossover episode on Spider-Man animated series, those are variants. Those are different. That's Fantastic Four of Earth 91321. So they're different than a little bit different than the Fantastic Four from the previous one. You know, just like how the Doctor Strange in 838 was different than Doctor Strange on 616. Or the Wanda from Earth 838 different than the Wanda from 616. The Moto from 616 is different than the Moto from 838. So, you know, that's how I look at that. But, you know, at the same time, I mean, they still could have made that as T'Challa. Or you know what? At least what they could have done, they could have showed us that, all right, that's T'Chaka. He's still Black Panther. They still could have showed T'Challa. All right? Because that right there, here's the thing. Scale to 1 to 10. I'm going to get a season finale of 10. Now, if you showed us that somehow any proof that T'Challa exists right there, well, okay, well, all right, you know what? You can be like, all right, well, we know T'Challa's there. Hey, they'll have him take the mantle from T'Chaka some other time, further somewhere in the future. But we see T'Challa is there, you know. But also, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That T'Chaka, I don't know how old he is, but they have the gray right here, a lot of gray right there. He looks older, more seasoned and wise. And I'm gonna tell you something. The way he fought, see, he in the words of Bane, you fight like a young man. Like that Black Panther was fighting like a young man. He's fighting young. He wasn't fighting like a seasoned veteran. The number one, cause think about it. Right there behind him, he has his Dora Milaje. The Dora Milaje. All right. You don't send T'Challa the veteran, he'll back up. All right, Doris, take care of that. Take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Take care of that. Like that wasn't even smart for him to jump out through the glass and fight it. It looked dope, but it looked like some young person, shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a veteran doing like, what am I doing that for? If I got my security right here, what am I doing? What am I doing that for? You get what I'm saying? Because the prime sentinels, those are pawns. Those are pawns. They're not the rooks. They're not the kings, not the queens, not the bishops, not the knights. they're the pawns, man. So, hey, so in a way, I think that could be. I think that could be. I think that is T'Challa. And somebody pointed out T'Chaka, his Black Panther suit. T'Chaka, his look gray. But maybe it's because of the light. But I don't know. I gotta research. Is there such thing as a gray Black Panther suit? Shit, I can do that right now. Is there a gray Black Panther suit? But yeah, man, that could be T'Challa right there because dude was fighting like a young man. That's some brawler type stuff, So it's like he's young and he's hungry. And then probably what's gonna happen when T'Chaka come back and be like, "Boy, son, what's wrong with you? I don't need you dying out there. You let your Doras do their thing." So but that's all I'm gonna talk about it because this is X-Men, but I can't wait for next season. But yeah, man, Rogue, yeah, you don't deserve to say the name. His name is Gambit. Remember it. No, you don't deserve to say that. So keep your mouth hush. But I would like to know. So those humans who signed up to be Prime Sentinels, so what's going to be the penalty? How much jail time they're going to be receiving for the assaults that occurred and what they did to the mutants? I just want to know. We're not gonna let them off like that. They knew what they were signing up for. They was in their training and they had their powers. They knew what they were signing up for. Oh, they don't remember anything? Well, people who get charged for drunk driving and all that stuff, they don't remember anything either. So, where's the accountability? Where's the accountability? You see, that's what I'm saying. That's that shit that Magneto was telling y'all. Where's the accountability? Y'all not gonna hold them accountable, huh? They gonna just go back to their happy, merry lives. Still got that nanotech in them. Tony Stark about to make a killing off of that. Where's Ultron? But yeah, man, that they need to be dealt with, man. Like, bro, y'all signed up for that. Bastion didn't force y'all to do that. He didn't. But yeah, that's something, man. That's something. But yeah, hey, man, that's all I got. That's all I'm gonna talk about today on that. But yeah, man, I enjoyed this episode, man. I only watched. Let me see. I watched it twice, but I'm gonna watch it again. And what's crazy, every time I watch it, I'm probably gonna want to talk about something else. So, but anyways, share your thoughts. So let me know. I am sleepy. I am tired, y'all. I need some rest. Share your thoughts. Let me know, what do y'all think of X-Men 97 season finale? Scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it? Please hit that like and subscribe button. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace out.